Welcome back to our Countdown to the Camino series, where we are sharing our planning process leading up to walking 200 miles across Spain along the Camino de Santiago. One of the biggest parts of planning your Camino is what are you going to do for accommodations along the way? And there's kind of three different approaches. You could go with a tour company that's going to arrange everything for you. They schedule out the stages, they book your accommodation along the way, they'll even transport your luggage from town to town. So that's one option. The other option is a DIY, where you just do the research, you plan your stages, and you book all of your accommodations yourself. Or probably what most pilgrims do is what's called the Camino Will Provide, where you just book your first night, and then as the day goes on, you see how far you're going to go, and then you go online or you're on WhatsApp messaging the next town to plan what you might book there. Or in some cases, you can go with the government-owned albergues, which are more like bunk beds, like you're sleeping in a room with 60 of your closest friends, and you just show up at those government-owned albergues, and you're like, do you have a bed available? And they'll let you know if you have a place to sleep or not. For us, I love to plan travel. So the second approach, the DIY approach, was 100% what we decided to do. But I will say it's not for the weak of heart, because we ended up changing our stages 3 different times, which means that I had to book, then cancel and rebook, and then kind of redo it the third time. And it was all based on a variety of factors. Of course, AI told us what our stages should be, so we booked our accommodations based on that, 13 stages, 16 to 20 miles a day. Then we made the decision for Basil to have his neck surgery, and we knew that we kind of wanted to dial it back, make each day be a little bit easier, and do more in the 12 to 15 miles a day. So that was the second time I had to go through and book and rebook everything. As the Camino was approaching, I really started looking at the elevation chart for each of our stages, and there was one particular day where we were going to be going downhill for 16 miles, and we were like, that's going to destroy our knees and our legs. And so we redid about the first 6 days of our stages to kind of spread that out a little bit to make it a little bit easier. Now, as far as how I booked the accommodations, I would say probably 70% of them I booked on booking.com. Super easy. You go in, you search the town that you're going to end in. It shows you the options, you book, and everything is taken care of. There were a few of the smaller towns where they weren't on booking.com, so I had to WhatsApp them to make the reservation for our accommodations. Our most important thing was we wanted a private room, hopefully with a private bathroom. Just didn't want to deal with listening to other people cough and snore and things like that. So that was one of the reasons why we decided to DIY our accommodations. Not only because I love doing it, but we just wanted to make sure that we had private rooms. Because we had heard that September was so popular now, we wanted to make sure that we had our accommodations arranged ahead of time. Certainly your planning process for your Camino is a very individual thing. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. For us, it was DIY and book everything ahead of time. Stay tuned for more of our planning process for 200 miles across Spain along the Camino de Santiago.